Good afternoon, everyone. Congressman Tom Rooney here to give you an update as to what happened this week in Congress. Most importantly, we passed what's called a continuing resolution, as you know, commonly called a CR, to keep the government funded through the end of next week. While I'm not a big supporter of CRs in general, I supported this one so the Appropriations Committee can hash out the final details of the 11 bills that will fund the federal agencies like the Defense Department, Agriculture, and Homeland Security for the rest of this year. I can tell you we put a lot of time into these bills and started our work on them over a year ago, holding hundreds of open hearings and considering hundreds of amendments on the House floor. As a member of this committee, I worked to make sure that I got some funding for programs that help our state and our district. And I hope that I can give you guys some good news and tell you more about them in the next week when these bills hopefully are signed into law. Also this week, the Senate confirmed Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue. In Florida, agriculture is more than just an industry, it's a way of life, and it's one of our state's biggest economic drivers. So I'm excited to work with Secretary Perdue to tackle the most important issues facing Florida's agricultural industry. I have every confidence that Secretary Perdue will be the best advocate in this administration for our farmers and growers and ranchers that I represent in Florida's heartland as Congress continues to move forward through the 2018 budget process and, more importantly, with the reauthorization of the Farm Bill, which is coming up next year. And finally, President Donald Trump recently agreed to provide the Army Corps of Engineers with the maximum amount of funding needed to finish the repairs of the Herbert Hoover Dike. In my backyard, the Corps is 100% responsible for the construction and funding of the Herbert Hoover Dike, which protects communities around Lake Okeechobee from severe flooding. I have long worked to bring proper federal funding to the Herbert Hoover Dike, but unfortunately, the Obama administration never made the Corps funding a priority. The completion of the Herbert Hoover Dike rehabilitation project is necessary to make sure that thousands of Floridians living near the dike are safe, and I am pleased that President Trump is also making it a priority. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this message. I hope that you and your families have a great weekend, and God bless.